Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. So 27 years ago, there was this event of what we call the Mahasamadhi of Papaji. Means for him, nothing ever happened as a real nature of what he was trying to teach us and show us. We could say his life was in samadhi, absorbed by what is not tyrannized by the mind, freed from the tyranny of the mind. We call it Mahasamadhi when the form, the body, the mind is no more alive, but nothing changed for him. And that's why we say the master is always alive. It's not a form, it's not a name, so we need that vehicle to hear, but finally to see that what is pointed out from the very start is what one is already and one ever is. So, having such a guide, it was the most blessed moment of our life. And so, in fact, it's still alive. So, Jai Papaji. Now, we are still around him, still to listen to the same. So it doesn't mean that we have to sleep. It's not 27 years back, it is just now that we hear what has to be heard if the search is to know oneself or to know the origin of everything or whatever expression you have about that. So to honor the fact to have met a master, at some point, searching, okay, having revelations, okay, but at some point one just honor that. How? Just by being. Just by not confusing oneself for a role or for something else. That's all. That is honoring. So as Papaji always showed, and if I tell I'm not a parrot, it's just that it is like that. Your real nature, what is with everything. Actually, the only thing which is this unmanifested nature, often indicated by Ramana by a screen where the movie could be played, or a background. It is just a way to say, otherwise there is nothing like two. There is nothing like a screen and a movie, in fact. So, but we are obliged, since we always place oneself somewhere, we always consider two things. There is this duality and then there is this real self, which is non-dual, which is not impossible to objectify, otherwise it falls into the world of duality. But that is when you place yourself somewhere, otherwise there is not such a thing. Even though, of course, whatever has a form and a name can disappear, goes on changing anyway. But it is what you are anyway, nothing else. Only the form, the appearance, go on changing, not what it is.
Good morning, Ganga.
Good morning.
What you tell, I want to say, I can see it like a knowing that there are shapes and words and all this thing, that it is not real. But when I express myself and talk and do, just be in life with things, then I forget that. Then I see that I'm the person and not. I know also you live your life and you do your things, but to experience it is for me not so clear that I know when I'm quite.
As a person, you cannot
knowing.
experience it. As a person,
No.
forget, you see. Don't try to have a disidentified life because you know you are always yourself. This will not happen. This you have experiences and all that, but this is not in the manifestation.
You say
it
so
remains
often.
the manifestation. What is in the manifestation is in the world of manifestation. Now, someone in the manifestation may ask, but who am I in fact? You see? Then he may just be aware that the real nature of things is not even personal, and that is that I am that, unmanifested. So once you have seen that, the life that somebody continues, it will be probably interrupted by this amazing discovery or self-acknowledgement that his real nature is, but he will continue to play his roles. And, playing his roles, sometimes he may know, yes, this is my role, and sometimes he's just into the role. We call that identification. But then what? Is always what is. This you have to understand. It will not be an attainment of someone always absorbed in the self. He's always absorbed in the self, even if he's identified. Oh, no, I don't explain well, but what is the realization? Realization is to see that you always have been what you search, actually. You always have been whatever manifestation presents itself. You always are. even when you forget. Forgetfulness, remembrances happens in the manifestation, in its own creation. So don't make efforts. Make effort when you are seeker because you really want to see, but what's before the first? What's before the birth? All that. If it is done, it's done.
Yeah.
You don't need to make an effort to be somebody more absorbed in yourself. you just are. And according to whatever life carries, you will be maybe more, some are more looking like having more experiences of beingness than others. But this is just, if you compare, it's not a goal. Yeah. Doesn't depend on you anyway, that it's this way or that way. So you cannot make effort. The only extreme efforts when you are a seeker is to have such a discrimination that you don't confuse yourself with something. That's all. It's enormous, I agree. It's the biggest effort one could ever do because he takes himself as someone. But once you have seen, what effort? To have seen is that I always have been that. So how can you make any effort? Even if in the appearance you look like completely exploded, this, that, or whatever. Who cares then? You know, it's not in your hand. The appearance is not in your hand. For example, Papaji appeared as a guru because we searched for it, and that we were searching presented that shape to us. But Papaji was not taking himself for a guru. It was a role he had. And then what? What he was showing doesn't depend on revelations or on time and space. Yeah. You see, what you are doesn't even depend on the maturity or whatever. It's always here. What can mature in someone is a growing love for it, an investigation more about what it's not, and all that. That's a kind of passion one has. Yeah, some have birding passion or whatever passion. But yeah. It's just sudden. Um, and in order to, let's say, to make it happen in this manifestation for the one who searches for it, there is just a few sentences, words, or silence, we never know how it works, which cuts off the belief one has in his mind. It's only the mind which makes it a long process. Only the mind. But you can always hear, is okay, now I'm not busy with time, since doesn't depend on time. I hear it's just here now. That's why you see, to keep a single idea or concept or experience about it will prolong will prolong you in time. So just be aware of that. Actually, you see, I find that all experiences are deluding. Deluding, yeah. Even the experience of the disappearance of, let's say, the big thing, I, is deluding. Because in the mind it comes that, oh, because I disappeared, I can see who I am. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong, and if it happened that way, it will not last. Because it depends on a temporal, ephemeral cause. So the best for me is, don't rely on any experience. It will lead you only in the mind. Let it be the most subtle one. I think just to see, oh, I placed myself there, a concept, that's it. It's enough. It's enough not to be there. Then you keep quiet. Yeah. So if there is anything which is rising in you, just tell it. Or if you want to build over a sentence, and you can share. Mm. As Ramana Maharishi is very known to have said, who am I to, it was already in the Vedas and all that, but he extracted that to give the full emphasis to that. I feel Papaji, who gave so many pearls, but one very special original pearl is keep quiet, to keep quiet, which is not understood, but it is very essential. It means it's not by searching, isn't it? If you have to keep quiet.
Papaji himself kept quiet so much. Like if
Attends, even now, it's nice to hear. Yeah.
Yeah,
Papaji.
Papaji himself kept quiet so much that if you were, for instance, in the house with him, we were eating in silence, a delicious silence. It was so, and it touched something in me,
Of course.
which is, you can say the self or I don't know what.
Yeah.
It was so nice to be there.
Yeah, sure.
And it was myself, but he opened that or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I say. He's our guru, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this keeping quiet, he was so quiet, and we all wanted to be near him too. So he opened that door in us.
But that's why we met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
I just wanted to say it in honor of him.
Yeah, I love it. It's so true. Sure. Sure. Just imagine half a second to have a life without having met him. We don't want to go there, isn't it? And that's still alive.
Yes. And I've been with other masters, you had to be silent, and then the silence was full of noise. And with Papaji, the silence was there, and in it, anything could be said.
Very well.
That,
Very nice.
That was the...
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Nothing could break it.
No.
Even when we were in the Azerbaijan, well, in Lucknow, the most traffic, the most noisy place. He loved to walk there in the evening. But there was no noise. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a sharing first. So I started already to celebrate this beautiful day already yesterday on the beach. I watched the videos on the Mahasamadhi day. And I think first of all, as a human being, the most inspiring something is what is between you and Papaji. Even I know that is what I can say.
It's inspiring, yeah.
If I speak about love, this is what I mean. And the other thing, if I have still one desire, I wish to also leave this body like he did and leave this kind of, so, because, okay. And can you tell me now something about today, about keeping quiet for me?
Don't go in your memory. Don't be tyrannized by the past. Just keep quiet. Just keep quiet. So be vigilant whenever the mind takes you somewhere. You just acknowledge it. You can stop or not. That doesn't matter. The acknowledgement makes you, oh, that's the mind, and then you keep quiet. To allow that to even express itself in obviousness. Because once it's obvious to the one who, to the seeker, then the seeker and all that disappear. So, but the seeker has to allow that moment to appear, and it appears as obviousness. I am that. Only by keeping quiet.
Morning, Ganga.
Good morning.
I don't want to leave any room for any doubt, even the smallest one. In the split second you give, is there anything one can do wrong or make a mistake in the split second?
There is no time for it.
Needed to hear that.
Your thought is in time, not in the split second.
No.
Morning.
Good morning.
My mind is pushing to bring a sentence from Papaji that I read one last days, and it's not about. It said. He said, "This Sakti, this Divine Mother, give you the urge to look within to find out who she is, what she is, and where she comes from. She only blesses a few people in this way. There are billions people in this world today, but only a few of them have been picked out by the Mother." So it brings me relaxation about the search.
Means you are the chosen one?
Eh?
You are the chosen one then.
I don't know. But this, whatever it has to be done, it will be done. It's not nothing to do. No? It's not about what can we do. It's not about someone. No? So it's
Yeah, but this attitude, you see, you can have sometimes, okay, there is nothing to do and all that. Finally, it's true. There is nothing to do. But as an attitude, you will not always be like this. At some point, you will still search and break your head with whatever, you know. This is a thing. So actually, it's not true that a seeker can keep quiet like that. It's when he's no more a seeker that something keeps quiet. You see, a seeker can have so many experiences like, oh yeah, nothing is in my hand, so what? And he's like that, but it's only for a while, because they are experiences belonging to somebody. So that question, but who is this somebody, has to shake whatever belief or experience is there. Yeah? But, you know, nobody knows how it works, so maybe for you it's this way. For me, definitively not. I could not take things so easily. But I've been also delaying a lot because of that, so what can I say? But I think it has nothing to do with the sentence you heard. I don't know why. How come? There's nothing to do. Okay. Okay. You are just inspired by him.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to believe that. Because I'm like you. I have this tendency of searching all the time.
Yeah.
And this is not, okay, it's nothing to, I know there is something to do. And at the same time, there is nothing to do.
Yeah.
It's the both, no? It's the paradox. So it's like, I know you have to be vigilant, but it's not in our hand that we can. It's a blessing, no? That we can
Yeah, but a
have
blessing coming from where?
from myself. I
From
think.
yourself. So, where is yourself? You are yourself.
So it's done by myself. That I.
Yeah, so you can drop the blessing. You are yourself.
I drop it. And why Papaji make this difference? Because it's like, why in this manifestation there are so many, not so much
Yeah.
people that is.
Because not so much want that. That's all. It's not that it is a selection. It's just not so many people want that. That's all. And all who wants that, they will have it.
Is
Yeah.
nobody wants.
But you see, it may take time to know exactly what the wise beings indicate because we always have some experience or some understanding, and then we of course stop there. So the wise man indicates always not to stop anywhere, don't land anywhere, as said Papaji. Well, I don't know why I said that. Yeah, that may take time to really have the will in oneself, the need and the total clarity. That's what I want, not to place myself somewhere anymore. Yeah. Because imagine, even the knower of the self is to place oneself somewhere. Alors imagine. Yeah. It's a role. All the teachers are the knower of the self, but it's a role. It's not what you are.
Something comes. This, as I'm less in my mind, I find that there is a connection with the responsibility in this manifestation in my life, and I try to find the connection between the mystery and this life, no? So it brings me this.
There is no connection in the appearance. In the form and names, there is no connection. It's a mystery how it happens. This I will never ever know, and I don't even want to try. But everything is that. The substance, the real substance of everything is that. But appears, forms and name, there is no connection. I don't know. Who knows, in 10 years I may say something else. You see, the mind doesn't go there, so how can you know? There is an image in India which is like a secret image, but it's everywhere. Huh? But no, I wonder who understands that really. You can understand, but really. It is half Shiva, half Shakti. And of course, then it's easy to explain this manifestation, and it's also... But... a very special image. I don't think anybody ever would explain it. And it doesn't matter. Once you keep quiet, who cares?
Um, I don't understand well when you say, I know it's a mind,
Yeah.
and I don't go with it. For me, if I know it's a mind,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do I cannot understand both together. When you say you know what is what,
Yeah.
you can engage and be in the mind,
Yeah.
knowing it.
Mm.
And this I don't understand. When I am under the mind, I don't realize I'm taking in the mind.
Yeah.
So how can I understand it?
What can I say? But when you investigate, it's to detect where you place yourself, otherwise you would not investigate if it was not such. It's because you feel I am a seeker, you may call it differently also, but you are something, somebody, and then you search up to here, it's okay? Tell me. Okay. And the search of what's the real nature of things is by detecting where I stuck myself, in which concept or experience I am stacking myself.
Mm.
Yeah? So that, as oneself only makes a processus in time, there will be some undoing things going on. Each time you see, that too is an idea, for example, because it was clear that it was maybe real, but it left you. So it is not real. It was still again a concept or an experience of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that investigation will bring you some kind of discriminative mind, not to confuse yourself with something.
Mm.
And one of the, let's say, work is, that's also the mind. So since I really, I don't go there because I know I am before what I can see.
Mm.
So it is said in that way. You understand? Or I am understood? Or
I understand it's like a practice.
it's a processus,
A
I said, because the seeker makes his own path. Now, if I tell you, don't do anything, because you are already what you search, basta.
Mm.
I prefer. Then take it, that's all.
Okay. I understood it is in life this discrimination happen.
Of course, it's in the mind of someone. Discrimination is in the mind.
Yeah.
Because a confused mind will hardly take I am that. It's rather that we have seen through experiences, maybe, I'm not sure if it is true what I say, but at least the clarity of mind, which is undoing, which is taking less concepts, which is like emptying more the pot, which is the mind, allows more space to hear maybe the indications of the gurus. Otherwise you hear only your own concept. Now there is some space to hear maybe something else. In the mind. It's in the mind. And that's why in the end, when you had so many years of good satsang and all, you know the subject. You are the knower of the self. You know what it is not. And suddenly you see, oh, there is a knower too much here. But you see that happens only in the mind. Mm? Yeah. So where do you place yourself? If I can ask.
It's come a question, is it possible to refrain the mind to do its job? No.
It's just in the moment. You just... That's what they say, dedicate your life to that, you see, because the mind has got so much power that if you don't dedicate to bring it back always to the source, it has to lose its power, because its power is fake. But we believed in it.
And when you say to bring back to the source, always, it is moment after moment.
It can be only like that.
As much as we can.
Yeah, what to say? If you are a seeker, but now, why do you think you're a seeker?
I will define more than a prisoner of the mind.
Okay. Yeah, but why do you think you are prisoner of the mind?
Because I see his power. I feel this as a waves that are uncontrolling and so strong.
Okay, but the manifestation will always be like that. So you confuse yourself for the manifestation. And you think in the manifestation that will show up having less of this kind of manifestation. No, that will continue. But you just don't confuse yourself for the mind, for what appears. And that is sudden. That can be sudden. Oh, it could be now. It's sudden.
I know that also, that it's possible.
You know, but this knowledge, then you are the knower. Why are you the knower? You should not even be the knower.
This I don't understand.
You should not be the knower. It's a role too much. Or you can play that role, but you know it's not who I am. Yeah. I think really the drama in the mind is to really not to give up that belief that I, as someone, will not change. That belief is unacceptable for the mind because he surged to be better. And here is totally boycotted. Yeah. Otherwise, you see, all the gurus who teach this beautiful indication of what is, they should be as a shape, a form, they should be perfect. They are not. Because they can't. The manifestation is dual, it's like this. So as a seeker, they are the masters. And as a shape, they are dual. And a seeker would like to be Advaitic in his shape. No, forget it. It's a total fantasy. Really.
Should be perfect.
Yeah? What?
We should be perfect.
That's good laughter. Ah.
It looks like I'm placing freedom in front of me, and I keep doing it. And
Okay, you see that.
yeah,
So where is it, in fact?
it's here.
Okay. Only your mind has this tendency. You're not your mind. Yeah.
Hi, Ganga.
Hi.
I think it's a half-formed question yet. I think I'm feeling slightly confused when knowing it's a dual, and the manifestation is always changing.
Yeah.
And outside, when faced with decisions and things that we have to go and do, more and more I keep trying to sit in quietness. When the mind tries to go into different possibilities and different scenarios. And I think I'm perhaps looking at the advice of how to not get confused with that. If I'm supposed to, when in the manifestation, just play the role.
Then what else? What can you do?
Just play the role and
What can you do?
No, I'm
Oh,
not
you
that.
can also quit, but then you will take another role.
Yes, of course.
You know.
And that is okay. I think it's...
Yeah, just don't confuse what is, it is what you are for what appears. That's it. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. I don't know if it's only me who feels this, but I feel like when I have to actively put myself in the position where I'm playing a role, and then I have to get back to what I am, and know I'm just playing a role, it can feel lonely when you have to play a role, because there seems to be a disconnect from what I know I am and the role I have to play, if that makes sense.
You make it difficult.
Yeah. Which is why I think I'm asking it. I'm trying to
You
find
are
an
not
easier
lonely
way.
in a role. You see, you have a role because others look like that on you, and you play the role with others. You are not lonely there. Now, if you have a sense of loneliness, just don't go there. It is an experience. Why should you trouble yourself with that? Yeah. It's not because something appears that we are obliged and enslaved to it, you see. Yeah.
Thank you.
But that's why you see it's important to have a discriminative mind. Because, for example, if this experience of loneliness appears, you can say, oh, I don't go there, or you can't help, you feel that. But you don't feed it, means you know it's a move of your mind. It will disappear by itself. If you don't feed it, if you don't say, oh, it should not be there, or I should do something that it's different, you see, don't feed that. Discrimination. Of course, in this life, many things one may not like to live, and all those things. Sure, it's passing by.
Ganga, would it change the amount of energy that is...
What?
Would it change the amount of energy that is put into life? Because I see there's still a big difference of if I spend more time sitting or coming to satsang, or if I am more engaged in life with work and with the manifestation, no, like what do I want to do? How do I feel about... And I see my days have been more filled with that. And
it's up to you. It's
Yeah.
up to you to give moments of quietness or not.
Because it makes a big difference in the manifestation as well. That's what the manifestation itself seems very different when I spend more time in quiet, or if I'm busy with it. Even if it doesn't make a difference, but it also does.
Well, when you plunge into the river, you go back wet, no?
Yeah.
But then you dry again. Like that.
But in the moments, like in the day, that I see myself like, oh, my body. If there's lots of things happening physically, also in my body, or mentally, or emotionally, and in many of those moments, I'm just identified. I'm not like
Of course,
stopping.
I
and
mean,
like,
if
I'm
you are
not going
busy,
there.
if you are busy with something, you are identified. But that's why we call it the manifestation, being busy with forms and names, with appearance, with disappearance. We are busy. The mind gets busy. Yeah. That's why it is said, if you really ever need to really solve this problem of beingness or whatever, you dedicate your life to this. Means not that you cannot live your life, but at least you spare sometimes to it. That's what is meant. It is said, dedicate your life. It doesn't say make your life only like that. No, live your life, because it's a matter of split seconds to dedicate to nothing. To nothing. We spend 23 hours, Butse Papaji, 99,99 seconds, hours, seconds, to names and forms. 1 second. Yes. Here and there, stolen here and there. That's called dedicating one's life to what is. And of course, if you start to make a meditation, then the trouble is that you are a meditator. You become a meditator. That's why, of course, it can help too, but then no, now I am a meditator. I am with myself, means not with names and form, but I am a meditator. So I'm not that too. And that is in a split second. So you live as you like, but spare the split second. At least it's an advice. What to say? Whatever has a length of time, what was not dead before, will leave you. So it is still in the mind. Maybe a quiet mind, in this case of, let's say, meditation, or not being busy a while for forms and names. But remember, okay, I am there, I feel rest, oh lucky I am, maybe it's enough. But if you really search for what is, you will see, oh, there is a meditator too much. That's in a split second. I repeat myself, but that's the split second spoken of. Yeah. And that is not in time. That has never left you, will never leave you, even when you are busy with your ships. But the mind is not yet surrender or quiet about it, so it needs to remember. That's why still split seconds. After, it's not that he will remember all the time, he will remember like before, but it doesn't matter. As long as it matters, still a split second. That's what I can say. And when it doesn't matter anymore, you fell in love with that. So anyway, you also give some what to do. We have more than a split second. We have 1 minute. I feel like I just have to add that split second of being freed from forms and names is unbroken. It's unbroken, you see. Its nature is unbroken by time. So don't try to understand, but because this word split second has such a meaning, and at the same time it's just fake, because it's unbroken what is. It doesn't take the qualities of time and space. It creates that, but so thank you very much.